Peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-Africanism. Good Garvey Day, good Garvey Day, good Garvey Day. Peace and Pan-Africanism. Good Garvey Day, good Garvey Day, good Garvey Day. I just wanted to tap in. Because today is my 11th anniversary of taking over the global, not the local, not the national, not the regional, the global Black conscious movement. 11 years ago today, October the 30th. 11 years ago today, October the 30th, I entered Harlem, New York City, National Black Theater, 125th and 5th, and I delivered Post-Traumatic Slavery Disease, Part 4, Miseducation of the 21st Century Negro. I came to the National Black Theater with copies of the interview I did in Chicago, the most revolutionary interview ever on the school-to-prison pipeline in the war against Black boys. That was September the 18th, anniversary of Booker T. Washington's Atlanta Cotton Exposition speech. I took copies of the September 18th Chicago interview to the National Black Theater with me in Harlem, which is the anniversary, October 30th, the anniversary, ironically, of when the white power structure found Nat Turner in hiding. October the 30th, 1831, they finally discovered Nat Turner at his hideout. On October the 30th, 2010, the world, the global African community would discover the Prince of Pan-Afrikanism. It's been 11 long years. We had a lot of ups. We had a lot of downs. But through it all, we have prevailed. Through it all, we saved a lot of children. Through it all, we broke records. We made history. Through it all, we sat down a lot of haters. And I just want to say thank you to the brothers and sisters who stood by me for the past 11 years. Thank you to the brothers and sisters who stood by me the past 11 years. Thank you to the brothers and sisters who knew me before October the 30th. How many of you were rocking with the Prince before October the 30th of 2010? Who've been rocking with the Prince since 2005? Who've been rocking with the Prince since the year 2000 when I first came home from graduate school as the young school psychologist in Philadelphia? I have 21 years of conscious activism, grassroots work, Pan-African liberation. 21 years in the game, but 11 years on the global level. I can't believe it's been 11 years. I still remember going into New York to this very day, not knowing what the Big Apple would think of me, coming to the Mecca of Black consciousness, where Garvey got his start and Malcolm got his start and Stokely got his start, and here I come, another Pan-Africanist. New York, where all the great Pan-Africanists came to. Henry Highland Garnett came through New York. Alexander Crummell came through New York. All of them came through New York. And who else? Alexander Crummell, Henry Highland Garnett, John Brown Russworm from Jamaica, started the first Black newspaper, came through New York. All the Pan-Africanists came through New York. And so me, like they, had to also come through New York. And it's just been great. It's been great. I remember those golden years. I consider 2010 to 2020 the golden years of Black consciousness in the 21st century, in the golden years of of my journey through Black consciousness also. Yes, indeed. It has been a great journey, a wonderful journey, positive journey. We were selling out events everywhere we went. Like I couldn't miss, brothers and sisters, couldn't miss. I remember when I first went to Africa to speak, and when I first went to the UK to speak, when I first went to South America to speak, when I first went to Jamaica and Bermuda and Bahamas and St. Thomas to speak, not knowing how the brothers and sisters would receive me. And it was all love. All love. And so now we embark on an institution building crusade, which is the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. Now we embark on the institution building crusade. I remember when I learned about the St. Paul's College in 2014, took a fundraiser, did a fundraiser in St. Louis. I was so nervous because I never asked Black people for money before, and I still didn't want to, but I did it anyway. And they gave me a couple $100, which I used to pay for the lawyer to enter a bid for St. Paul's College. I remember that. Then I remember doing the St. Paul's College video. And then I remember the haters. The jealousy started because the same year that we started raising money for St. Paul's, 2014, and next year, 2015, I stopped letting these conscious leeches try to exploit me for personal gain. And when I stopped letting these conscious community leeches, when I stopped letting them exploit me for personal gain, they got mad. And they said, not only is he raising money and we not getting none, he's not even let us use him no more for lecture money. And so when I went independent, I really saw how many people really were not for me. They was just using me financially. But that was a lesson that I had to learn. And then I remember keynoting the Marcus Garvey celebration in 2014, hosted by the Bobo Shanti Rastafari in Fort Lauderdale. And I met a young sister there who said she was a homeschooling mother with a homeschooling organization and wanted me to help. And I agreed to help. Come to find out later, she was an exotic dancer. And she tried to go on a campaign to discredit me. And at first, the campaign wasn't getting no attention because nobody cared about what two consensual adults were doing behind closed doors. So she took it to a whole nother level. She took it to a whole nother level, brothers and sisters, and she started saying that I was using school money to fly her around the country and using school money to take her out and take her on dates, and I was using school money to pay for hotels. So because she didn't get the reaction she wanted from the YouTubian media, she said, I'm gonna just say he started stealing money. And they was interviewing this woman every day, all day for months at hand. And not one person ever asked, do you have any proof that he ever spent a penny of the money on you or anything other than FDMG? Do you have any proof that he ever spent a penny of this money on on you or anything other than FDMG? And so they were happy because they thought it was the end of me, because I just cut all them out of exploiting me for conscious money. I was no longer doing conscious lectures for free. I had started to charge because my first 10 years, I never took a penny for any of the lectures that I did. So I cut out the middlemen because they was taking me to lectures and bringing me in and not even let me finish my lecture and let everybody else get on the platform. And then when it's time for me to speak, they telling me I only got 30 minutes when you just gave all my time to somebody I don't even know. So I said, I got to stop this. These Negroes don't care about me or my message. They just using me to draw the crowd and get paid. So when she started hating, it came at the right time. When she started her assassination campaign, it came at the perfect time for all of the jealous ones in the conscious movement and all of the leeches to try to use this as a platform through which they could destroy me. So that went on for almost a year. I take my second trip to Africa. I started taking my group trip to Africa in 2014, group trip to Africa 2015. And when I came back from my group trip to Africa in 2015, I got a call from the Breakfast Club, Power 105, the Breakfast Club, Charlemagne. They hit me up while I'm going through this whole thing with COINTELPRO and the haters in the conscious community. So the Breakfast Club said, we want you to come on. So I go to the Breakfast Club for the first time, not knowing what to expect. And they threw me an alley-oop in terms of the Breakfast Club interview, the first one that I did, which was 2015. And I caught that alley-oop. I took it around my back. I took that alley-oop under my leg. I double pumped that alley-oop, slammed it in reverse. 5 million views later, it's a classic. The Breakfast Club interview that I did in 2015 was so prophetic. The Breakfast Club interview I did in 2015 was so prophetic and so beneficial because it opened me up. Although I was already the biggest name in Black consciousness globally, I was already the biggest name in Black consciousness. But what the Breakfast Club did was it took me into the homes and hearts of Black people who had not heard me yet. Hip hop community, bougie Black community, social network generation. So all the Black folk who I had not yet been exposed to, even though I was already number one, all the Black folks I had not been exposed to, the Breakfast Club interview would expose me to them. And I say it all the time. I say, before I went to the Breakfast Club, half the people in the airport knew who I was. Before I went to the Breakfast Club, half the people in the airport knew who I was. After the Breakfast Club, everybody in the airport knew who I was. And I was able to instantly see the impact that the Breakfast Club had with regard to taking Dr. Umar's brand global. And it really set the hate campaign back. It really set the hate campaign back because the Breakfast Club interview brought me millions of new supporters. And so the henchmen in the conscious community, it was nothing they can do. It was like a tidal wave. A tidal wave came and just washed the entire hate campaign away. And it forced the conscious community to understand something that a lot of the YouTubians don't understand right now. It forced the conscious community to understand something that many of the anti-Ifatunde YouTubians don't understand right now. And that is Dr. Umar has transcended the Black consciousness movement. Although Dr. Umar is a part of the consciousness movement, he has transcended it, which is to say he belongs to African people, not the conscious community, who envy me for my position and influence. They can only do so much harm because I've transcended that. I have millions and millions of supporters who are not conscious. I have parents who support me who are not necessarily conscious or part of the conscious community. You understand? And so I'm just here today, really. To say thank you. So brothers and sisters, 11 years down, 100 more to go. 11 years down, 100 more to go. 11 years down. Hey, sister. Hey, Sister Tanya. Shout out to you and Brother Cody. Much love. They took us on our first college tour. So, what I'm going to do to celebrate 11 years as King of Black Consciousness, to celebrate 11 years as King of Black Consciousness, to celebrate 11 years as King of Global Black Consciousness. And let me thank my continental Africans for making me who I am. My Africans in Europe, my France, my Belgium, my Germany Africans, my Austrian Africans, my UK Africans. Let me thank my Caribbean Africans, my Haitian Africans, my Jamaican, Bermuda, Bahamas, St. Thomas, St. Croix, Turks and Caicos, St. Martin, my Puerto Rican Africans, all of them, my Canadian Africans. Okay, I got to thank my Africans in Japan, my Africans in China, my Africans in Australia, my South Pacific Africans, my Central and South America, all of the Africans around the world who has stood by me these 11 years since October the 30th of 2010 until October the 30th of 2021. 11 long years. We still here. Can't wait to get the gym ready so we can start holding events. I can't wait to get the gym ready until we start holding events. Hopefully we can do that before the year ends. If we can't, Black History Month going to be off the hook. Black History Month is going to be off the hook. They got my Facebook wifey, Sister Octavia, grand rising to the Facebook wifey. 11 long years. And I look around at a lot of the other people in the conscious community. They have fell off. They've been indicted. They done lost their minds. They done went into something else. They've been exposed as frauds. I mean, I've watched a lot of the people who've hated on me have fell off. And that's why I learned a good lesson from African spirituality. I've learned a good lesson from African spirituality in many of my readings that I've got. In many of my readings that I've got, I've been admonished to not return fire for fire. I've constantly been told in my divinations, my spiritual divinations, do not return fire with fire. Okay? I was constantly told, do not clap back at the haters, which I've largely not done. I've only clapped back maybe 5 times in 11 years. I think I've only clapped back 5 times in 11 years. I clapped back at Psy.D when we had our beef. I clapped back at Polite when we had our beef. I clapped back at SETI. I clapped back at Nasheed. And I clapped back at the YouTubians. 5 clapbacks in 11 years. That is not bad. 5 clapbacks in 11 years. That is not bad. 5 clapbacks in 11 years. That is not bad at all. So in honor of my 11th anniversary, I want you to hit the Cash App. In honor of my 11th anniversary, I want you to hit the Cash App. In honor of my 11th anniversary as King Kong Consciousness, anniversary of Nat Turner's surrender. Nat Turner was found and surrendered on October 30, 1831. Nat Turner was found on October the 30th. Dr. Umar was found on October the 30th. Nat Turner was found on October the 30th. Dr. Umar was found on October the 30th. And 12 days from today, I will be in Nat Turner land. 12 days from today, I will be in Nat Turner land. And I hope all of you will be there with me on November the 11th from 11 till 8. November the 11th, we gather at 11 a.m. The tour is around 12:01 p.m. We socialize and we fellowship. From about 3 to 5, we have a family dinner at Nat Turner land. Dr. Umar speaks. We take pictures, support the vendors, because there's always an African marketplace at Nat Turner Land. You want to come through. There's always an African marketplace at Nat Turner Land. You want to come through. Go to natturnerlibrary.com. 12 days from today, we will all be in Nat Turner Land. Go to natturnerlibrary.com, brothers and sisters. What I want to do in honor of my 11th anniversary, and if you want to donate directly, you can hit the Cash App for Dr.Umar Johnson. If you want to donate to me directly, not to the school, but to me for the 11th anniversary, hit the Cash App, $ Dr.Umar Johnson, or you can hit your Zelle using my cell number. You can hit your Zelle using my cell number, 215-989-9858, or your PayPal, paypal.me/Umar the Psychologist, but always donate to the school first, $ FDMG School or FDMG, paypal.me/FDMG Academy.